Hello everybody and welcome to the OVRC for round 8 of the GT series. I'm once again joined by Erwin.
Hello everyone, hope you're having a nice day.
And we are back at the Nürburgring. The first, in theory, ever race we ran as somewhat the spiritual predecessor to the OVRC was run here. And we're also going to finish off this season here. So, been an interesting year since we sort of started at the beginning of the year. But what we at the Nürburgring, we're raced there. We did race it here last week for the TC series, but we are once again back for the GT cars, and it's a well-known track. Everyone's driven Nürburgring. If you haven't, I don't know then. Everyone's driven it.
Have you even driven, if you haven't driven the Nürburgring?
So running the full layout this time compared to the last time, which we obviously ran the shorter layout. But quickly, let's just go quickly through the standings as we head into the championship decider, because it technically is a championship on the line here.
Yeah, so leading said championship is Marcus Lawrence with 103 points, and in second it's Anton Quiffline with 93 points, and not far behind at all. Then in third there's Thomas Jansen with 75 points, so he's no longer a championship contender. And then in fourth is Jordan Wansink with 70 points, and Mark Whitford is in fifth with 61 points. Then for the team standings, we have Concrete Racing in first with 173 points. Then second is Buses Greater Than Pigs with 97 points. In third is Over the Curbs and Far Away with 93 points. Then in fourth is TDMW Racing with 91 points. And in fifth is Nissan Nismo Tango Team with 79 points. And as always, you can find the full standings in the description, in the link.
Yep. So we've got a few minutes. We've got 2 minutes until the drivers be allowed on the track. So let's quickly talk about, because obviously you actually have, this is actually a track you have raced at some point. Surprise! Erwin actually used to drive cars at some point.
Wow.
Wow, so you can actually give experience to driving this track.
Well, I haven't driven it in a long time, so still can't say much.
I mean, as I said before, it's a track that everyone knows these days.
That is true.
It's pretty much in every single sim or racing game for the most part. Just trying to think of games that don't have it in, actually. I think like, is that well known of a track? And it's raced from everything from like endurance, sprint, touring cars, GT cars. I'm guessing shopping trolleys at some point. So we're actually, as you can see on here, we're actually using the F1 style chicane, so the short one, not the long one like last time. So should have a bit safer overtakes than last time. If you remember from the TC race, a lot of incidents happened into that chicane. But again, these cars are a lot more stable. The GT3 cars with a lot more downforce. Not being front-wheel drive also helps a bit. Obviously, so but it should be an interesting race. And with the championship decider coming up, I think it is completely open, depending on who wins this. But the point is, it's between Kovalainen and Marcus. And I think Marcus is going to have the advantage coming into it. He's shown a lot more pace than Kovalainen throughout the season. But Kovalainen's been very, very consistent indeed. So, you don't know. As the server will be opening up in a few seconds. Actually, open up right now. So,
Password.
as the season progresses, the broadcast professionality just goes down and down and down. Professional.
That's just part of our charm.
Professional broadcasting services. So the server will be opening up, and the drivers will shortly be on the server. If they decide to do so. Having no one's yet on it. So we've got a bit more time just looking around the beautiful hills. You can see a castle in the background there. I really should probably know more about Nürburgring. We know there's a fact file up here at the start of the stream, so everyone knows, but I don't know it that well. I know the track, but I don't know the surrounding areas much. As our first card on the server is Robert Nygaard in the M6. Quick thing to mention, there has been a few... so Racing had a patch last week. There has been a balance of performance changes to GT3 cars. Now, I can't go into details of them. I know some of them anyway. But they're strictly not allowed to talk about them. So it'll be interesting to see how that affects. Also, some cars had some handling changes in GT3, as well as being an overall turbo change. How turbos operate in Race Room, as Robert Nygaard heads out on track now. So all of these three things are going to affect may have a chance of affecting the result today, as cars will also be a bit faster, a bit slower, handle a bit differently. So it should
Yeah,
be...
the Audi is supposed to be a lot better now. A lot better over the curbs and better gear ratios, I've heard.
Oh, it's definitely better over the curve. It's one of the... it's my favourite GT3 car right now, outside of driving the Bentley, because it's the Bentley, but... Robert Nygaard is out on track right now in the M6. One of the cars are going to get tweaked a bit. It's been improved, and it's actually been reported to be very quick indeed. So with the BOP changes, before it was not very competitive and struggled a bit, but it should be interesting to see how well that can do. Thomas Jensen is in the Bentley as normal, and Marcus Lawrence is still in his Nissan. And that goes. So we've got already 12 cars on the server. So that was...
Turning up nice and quick.
Yep, as Nogo heads through the chicane. Are we starting his first timed lap? There's still plenty of time for people to join the server, because again, it's now until the qualifying starts, so no real rush, but we're already at 17, so again, very filled up very quickly. Again, this track is very popular, GT3 cars are very popular, and be an interesting race. As we have got a few more now. Interesting enough, Honzig's changed car. Or is he testing something? Because I just spotted... Oh, he's gone now. I just spotted him in the Audi R8.
I'm guessing he clicked the wrong thing.
I'm assuming so. Because he hasn't announced at all he's changing car.
Interestingly, looking at the standings, he is currently tied with Caleb Gonzalez in 7th position.
Don't know what's quite going on there. It hasn't said anything.
Oh no, just checking Discord again, and Jaroslav has just posted that his team is taking the Audi.
So they are in the Audi. Interesting, as Thomas Jansen sets fastest time I got obviously crossing the line before him, but people are starting to set times. As Marcus Lawrence heads fastest, the one at 56.9. Gonna sound quick as ever. Ooh, no, he has an open moment at the Schumacher S. Already 22 cars, so definitely gonna be a full grid up today. A full grid anyway. Interesting, we've got two Bentleys out today. Because Carl Mathiassen's back on track again, so two Bentleys. Which means I've got to get my Bentley hat on now to be not biased.
Hmm.
There we go. We are very unbiased here, as Estendo's now going around track on the old SLS Mercedes, followed by Sebastian Brunier in the McLaren 650. looking around, just trying to work. Thomas Siaka right now is faster than Marcus Lawrence, which is surprising. But might be showing how much pace the Nissan does have around here. As Atom Kovalainen sets the fastest Sector 1.
Actually, Honzik was slightly faster in Sector 1. He did just encounter some traffic though. Just made his way through that, so that still might have affected his lap time, as it was right in the Schumacher S, so not the best place to run into traffic.
I believe that's the Audi just behind Atom Kovalainen on track right now. Kovalainen does lose a lot of time out in the middle sector though.
Honzik is well very close to the best time in Sector 2. There's 0.002 seconds off. As let's see, he crossed the line and he goes fastest by just a little bit. So 156.7.
0.009 faster than Thomas Janssen. Marcus Lawrence moves up to P3. Getting in front of the other Nissan.
Sebastian Brunier just moved up to P8. Thomas Janssen goes fastest in Sector 1. And he also goes fastest in Sector 2 by 0.2 of a second. As you can see, Conor Mathieson spinning out behind him.
Possibly trying to follow him through his lines as he gets a bit wide on the exit there.
Yeah, but he crossed the line now and he goes fastest by 0.4.
Honzik though is saying a fastest Sector 1, but loses a tiny bit on the S's.
Did gain a few tenths though in Sector 1. Let's see what he does in Sector 2. Indeed, that mistake has cost him anything, and he got his lap invalidated.
Yeah, I think you have to be quite careful on that through the S's in terms of where the track limits are.
Jensen goes faster in sector 1 again. Just 0.03 of a second though.
Improves in
And he does go faster in sector 2 as well.
It's a bit
0.04.
uses quite a bit of curb then, going through
Yeah.
the chicane, so that might have lost
I
a bit
think
of
he did the
time.
same on his last lap. So I guess he thinks that's faster. And he does improve slightly. Meanwhile, Honzik does go faster in sector 1.
The Mercedes, one of the Mercedes anyway, in front of him right now.
Correct, he's got Magnus Jensen in front of him. That might give him a bit of a tow through here.
As he gets
As
out of the
Jensen
way.
gets out of the way. And Jaroslav went 2 tons faster for sector 2 as he goes around the final corner now. Goes about as wide as he can. And there we go. He takes P1. 156.1.
Three people have yet to set times.
Right, that's Victor Berlin, Mark Whitford and Kevin Neff. Not seen Kevin in a while.
Tom Dentist slots into P4. There's still quite a few people out there improving times as the car count goes to 24 cars. So 4 people yet to set times, and Gonzalez yet to be out on track. A minor point, I think Mark Whiff has changed livery since last time. He's no longer in the green Audi's now in the 33 one.
Huh. Yeah, Mark is registered with the 50. So I'm not sure what's going on there. As Jaroslav Honzik improves his time in Sector 1. So he heads through the Schumacher S now, looked a bit loose through there. A little bit of oversteer. Uses as much of the track as possible.
Be careful not to touch the gravel there, because the gravel, you lose a lot of time by touching it. So, want to avoid it at all possible.
And he loses out in Sector 2. That I think that might have been that little bit of oversteer in the Schumacher S. Maybe he can still make that up with the last couple of corners, as he has a bit of oversteer through there as well, so I don't think he will. And actually,
It's very close.
yeah. So Kevin Neff on his return to the series is currently down in P19. I think with how he's currently going, he should be able to move up a few positions. As I think Victor Berlin just set his first lap.
Yep.
P14. And Neff moves up to P19. Thomas Jansen is having another go at it. And he got very close to Jaroslav's time in Sector 1. Keeps it tidy through the Schumacher S. Looking smooth so far.
Vincent's trying his best to close the gap, but still a bit down.
Yeah.
Charles Bibers moves up the order a bit, as Johnson does take P1. Von Gardar is now out on track in the Corvette.
The blue boy. Is still on an outlap.
He'll be beginning his first time that race shortly, as I believe we will start it now. Will he? No timing yet.
That's a bit strange. Maybe corner cut in the last part of the track.
Maybe.
Sebastian Brunier is improving though. Got a bit of traffic in front of him with Tom Dentist, but I don't think that should get in the way, really, as Tom goes onto the grass.
Yeah, it gets very loose then.
And Brunier does not improve.
That guy gets very wide out of. Onzega can't improve in sector 1 by quite a significant margin. He keeps his momentum going into second sector. Longzhen moves up into P1.
Honzik and Jensen have been close all season, ever since Honzik joined. Because he was a bit late to the series.
Mark Whiff is still somewhat down the order here, so not having the best of times right now.
Whitford is getting another lap in. Still half a second down in sector 1. Just notice the margin between Jensen and Sayek is quite big.
Yeah, the top two are definitely a lot quicker than the rest of them.
And that's I think that's often the case, but seemingly more so now than ever before. As Whitford crosses the line and moves up to P10.
Lawrence is quite far down the order. Interesting, his
Yeah.
championship rivals ahead of him, but he's covering high up the order to really mount a challenge in terms of the championship.
Yeah, there's 10 points between them in the championship.
So he's a...
So Quifflinen will have to score 10 more points than Marcus in order to become our Season 4 champion.
We need one of those little graphs they have where like what does the driver need to do to win it, and it's gonna be very ridiculous in terms of Quifflinen, because 10 points, you get 10 points advantage over Lawrence, whereas if Lawrence doesn't score any points. So
Although Lawrence is now very close to Honzik in Sector 1, less than a tenth off. Looks like Lawrence is trying to make his way up the order. He puts down a strong Sector 2 as well. So if anything goes right for the final few corners, should be able to take P3. As he crosses the line now. And nothing happens, so it looks like...
oh, there we go, it's updated. Oh, that's Whitford's moved up to P4.
4. Yeah, so it looks like Lawrence got his lap invalidated somewhere in the final sector. I guess.
So less than 27 minutes to go. So we got another car on the circuit now of Max and Van den Hove. And so now the car total is 26 cars on, which will be currently on the server. Tom Dentis on an improved lap time right now. Marcus Lawrence jumps up to P3. Ooh, that's Gonzalez a bit off then. And loses a lot of time there. There's the little trains coming up behind him, consisting of Bentley and 2 Audis.
Yeah, and the two people behind him are. Oh, actually, Connor seems to have had a little issue, so he's not improving anymore. And I think what just happened to Gonzalez? He just.
Pulled off to the side, I think.
Yeah. Anton Griffline is still improving though, so he's currently in P10 and he crosses the line and
Stays
he
P10.
stays in P10. His
Gonzalez,
V10 stays in P10.
Gonzalez is back on the move
Hahaha.
again.
Yes, I think it is time for us to take a little break, so we'll be right back.
Hello and welcome back. We've got 60 minutes left to go in this practice. Josef Honzig currently leads the session. Followed by Thomas Jensen.
As Jürgen Wolby actually got very close to Honzig's Sector 1. So Wolby is currently in P14, so let's see what happens now as he's 2/10 off for Sector 2. He heads around the chicane into the final corner. So we should be able to move up the order quite a bit.
All about his final sector though. Can he keep the momentum going? And he moves up to P5, so
Nicely done.
he moves up quite far up the order. There's a bit more movements with the order. As now actually moved 27 cars on the grid right now. It's quite a lot indeed now. As Gonzalez moves up to P2.
Ooh, interesting. Stephen Higgins has gone off the road. Looks like he broke too late for the chicane.
What with is that's back on the server again, but he's changed car back to number 50 again, so this livery is using
I guess
last
someone
time.
told him that he had the wrong livery.
Maybe.
Anton Kovalainen is also trying right now, though it doesn't look like they're really going to get close to Lawrence. So Lawrence is does look to be in a very good position for the championship right now.
It all comes down to the race, but we've still got qualifying to go before then. There's still a lot of things
That
can
is
happen.
true.
We've got over 1 hour, nearly 2 hours worth of possible things to happen. The two teammates in the Nissans are both running together.
So we've got 27 cars in the server right now, which is more than what will fit in our overlay.
Unfortunately.
So it goes quite fast. In sector 1, half a second, half a tenth, I mean, of Hansik. And Sector 2 looking good as well, very good actually. He goes fastest in Sector 2. So he heads out of the chicane into the final corner. And see what happens when he crosses the line, and he moves up to P4.
As Honzig just crossed the line again, improves his time even further. Not worth a Steph still going for looking for improvements. There's a few cars still running out on track. Bitterberger moves up to P6. As Thomas Jensen improves Sector 1 by 0.2 of a second. Improves again in Sector 2. A very fast lap coming from Jensen now as he enters the final chicane. But lose a lot of time in the final sector, so he took that curb a bit too aggressively, but would have been on for the fastest lap. So with 6 minutes to go. Thomas gets fastest in sector 2. He's in the slipstream of one of the other Mercedes AMGs. And moves up to P2, so gets very close to Honzig's time.
And Mark Whitford is fastest in Sector 1 right now. And yeah, he seems to have slowed down and got his lap invalidated in Sector 2. So we're not going to be able to see his final time right now, I guess. It should hopefully be in some nice promise for qualifying. Qualifying will start in 4:20.
Sebastian
The
Brun's
person looking to improve right now is Sebastian Brunier, who does not improve, fortunately.
Illemans is also improving.
He gets very close in Sector 1.
Gets the fastest in sector 2. As Hillemans goes P1, so
That's interesting.
Honzig's going faster in sector 1 by 0.4, so someone's found some serious time. And improves even more into sector 2. As Whitford gets fastest right now. What's going on?
What is happening?
Honzig is gonna.
Nobody knows.
Oh, Honzig loses on the final corner. Can he keep it going? Yes, he does. He goes 0.4.
Jesus.
as we're entering the final closing moments of practice session before we head into qualifying. As most cars now return to the pit lanes, there's only 10 seconds left to go. As we enter into practice and into qualifying. So, any predictions? Or
I have no idea at this point.
I don't know. I mean, the Audi seems pretty strong. I'm gonna put my money in Honzig, I think. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna say it. We don't know yet,
Okay.
but there we go. That's why. That is my pick. As it happens, as the driver briefing is going on right now. So they're going through the rolling start procedure. As there appears to be 25 cars right now. So we're starting to hear some of the engines going as people are preparing to leave the pit lane as Owen has fallen over.
Sorry.
Can you understand what the speaker's saying? I can't understand.
I don't know either.
Oh, and they roll out and Mark Whitford just goes at maximum speed for the pit lane to try and get out first. He is out on track first. As the cars start rolling out for the final qualifying session of the season. Everyone but three cars around that right now. As we'll weave and try and get some tyre temp in, as there will be around 20 minutes in this qualifying session for everyone to set a timed lap. Of course, the fastest will be on pole, but there is a rolling start, so the start is somewhat equalised. Not equal. So, just see as it takes a very wide line in. Around he goes into the Mercedes arena. As all cars are on track, but one right now. We're in. So let's see what sort of times we start to see. As Mark will be the first across the line, followed by drivers by Sunderland, Gonzalez, Nygaard, Kovalan, it's Dentis, Siak, and Jensen. Interesting enough, some of the cars have dropped down the order somewhat in terms of where they're going to set their times, but still plenty of time for them to do so. We want as much clean air as possible unless you really want to benefit from the slipstream, which some cars may prefer using. Let's mark move across the line and put 155.9 as the first time lap. As Gonzalez set to go for one. We start getting a lot of time starting to roll in now. Jensen with the fastest so far. Honzig sets fastest sector 1 time. Got a lot of clean air right now. To the final corner. That's 155.6. Gonzalez heads home, gets into P2. Come up to P15. Slams into the wall there. Loses traction on the exit of the final corner. So
Mark Whitford goes fastest in Sector 1.
all but 4 cars have set times so far. So for you to head through. It is very hard to find some clean air on this track with how busy it is right now.
Yeah.
As Tom Denton's lap is invalidated. Meanwhile, his teammate, as you said before, Mark Whitford, has got fastest Sector 1 time.
Yeah, he's coming towards the end of Sector 2 now as well. So let's see what he does. He's almost 3/10 off in Sector 2. Now he takes a lot of curb through the chicane and heads into the final corner.
It's very wide on the
Very
final.
wide. I wonder if that's a valid lap.
No, it's not. He shuts the car off. Marcus Lawrence is going to be heading through the final corner very shortly.
And Lawrence goes ahead of Kivalainen.
All the people going around trying to improve their laps. Once again improving Sector 1. Alonso keeps his improvement going into Sector 2. He does, point 0.2. Then to sneak across the line, moves himself up to P4. Across the line, sends it to 0.5 of a second.
So Gonzalez heads around the final corner, trying to close the gap to Jensen, maybe even overtake. As oh, he spun
Spun and hits the
into
barrier.
the wall and back in the pit lane.
Mark Whitford's improved his first sector. Does lose out a bit in sector 2. As he moves up to P2, but still 0.4 for pace. As Jensen's trying everything he can to keep up. Being close in sector 1, but still 0.1 off. It's very close in sector 2. You've got one final sector to do it. If he can try and at least improve, but it does seem to take a very aggressive line through the chicane. Don't know how much that's lost him. We may have gained him as well. We don't know yet. He's got one final corner to go through. And moves up to P2, 0.1 off the fastest time right now.
And Mathieson takes P8.
Berlin improves his personal at sector 1. Oh, a bit of contact between Gonzalez and the Vanguard there on his lap. Herman's in the barriers as well. A lot of people are now returning to the pits or heading up for the last chance qualifying. So there's only 6 minutes left in the session. Gonzalez improves to sector 1 time. As he's on
And
the...
Thomas Sayek crosses the line and goes up to P9. Gonzalez doing pretty well in sector 2. Looking a bit unsettled through the chicane. Can you keep it smooth for the final corner? Fun here earlier, not this time. So he'll cross the line and move up to P3. And goes ahead of Mark Whitford.
Under nearly 4 minutes left to go, so not much time. If you want to be out on track, you have to be out on track right now. Otherwise, I don't think will be a time. There's another car that's gone on the barrier then. One of the Audis is Honzig.
And Caleb Gonzalez goes fastest in sector 1. Can he still pull something off in this last 3.5 minutes of qualifying?
Can the Corvette strike against the Audi Armata right now? As yeah, the Honzig has been sitting at the top, and a lot of Audis are in the top 10 right now. Definitely seen this many Audis in the top for ages, and at least in qualifying anyway. So see what Gonzalez can do as he enters sector 2, tiny bit off the pace in sector 2. Into chicane now, as well, a lot of time can be made up.
Still very close though, as I think there was a Mercedes off on the left side. No, it's a McLaren, I think.
Sebastian Brunio is the only McLaren out on track right now as he gets a bit wide and loses
no,
it.
he spins again.
And he heads in the barrier once more, so that's that lap over. And
He seems to be really struggling to get that last corner right. Meanwhile, Thomas Jensen is about to cross the line. And does he take P1?
No, he loses
no, he
time.
won't.
He loses time in sector 3. So
you have just about enough time to get another lap in from here, though.
this is going to be his last chance, I think. Well, it's definitely his last chance. Won't be another lap time after this. It's very close in sector 1. Jensen heavy on the brakes now into the final thing. It's a bit on 2 wheels then. Might be a bit too aggressive. Power slides on the way out. So 1 more corner to go now. 40 seconds left on the clock. He's got plenty of time to finish this lap. Can he cross the line? Can he take pole? No, he can't. So it does look like Honzig will be taking pole this race, as I don't think anyone else is close enough to do it. So I think Honzig indeed does take pole position. There's a bit of time left, but I don't think anyone's going to be moving around the order much. Followed by Thomas Janssen. Gonzalez comes with P3. Whitford, Dentist, Lawrence, Kovalainen, Mathiasen, Berlin, and Siek round the top 10. It's a fairly competitive grid there up to the top P15. A lot of them are very close together, so.
Yeah. Could be interesting. We prepare for the rolling start procedure to get underway for this final race of the season in GT series.
Those are the cars line up on the grid. The waiting is for there's all the cars now on the grid, so for the rolling stop procedures, Honzig will be on the pole, so he'll be leading the formation. Cars now start heading out single file towards. Through here to the Mercedes Arena. On they go. So we're heading now down towards Dunlop hairpin. Do you actually know the name of this corner? Now start heading back up the hill again. So I believe the pit limiter point will be the kink down the back straight, so the eight van, I believe it's called. Not quite sure about that.
The Advan.
Van. ADVAN.
I think that's a tire brand of some sort.
I think it is.
Maybe from Yokohama, as is seen by the billboards in the background there.
Yep, as they're now on the limiter on the straight, pit straight. As they were now heading towards the final corner, the hairpin. As they'll be released now on the pit limiter, and they will be. Ooh, now
they're
go.
off now.
As Honda gets a very good clean getaway, as they all start spreading out a bit, possibly 3 wide into turn 1. No, not really. Mate's perspective as they all enter down into it. Jensen on the outside, bit of contact there with the cars behind. So far, everyone's made it through fairly cleanly so far.
Yeah, no major drama.
Victor Berlin's looking to make a move. Or made a move on Kovalainen, possibly. To right in that. Right between the two championship contenders. Interesting to see about the race paces of the cars right now. You know the qualifying pace is definitely in favour of Honzig, but Jensen is right behind him still. believe it's been an incident for Warby as he's dropped down to the back of the order. And so as Robert Nygaard's lost a position as well on the start. But so far, Jansen's keeping right behind the back of that Audi. Oh, as Mark
Whitford runs wide onto the gravel, and there's Tom Dentist getting a bit inside.
Going side by side into the chicane.
Teammates, so they won't be too hard on each other, but Dentist has moved up and taken that P4.
But then
So now Dentist is off the road.
Not
I think he went a bit too much into the chicane there.
a bit too deep.
Whitford gets back in front.
Let's start weaving across the track, and a few cars and a bit of gravel on the back there. As Jensen's going to choke round the outside, possibly into turn 1. Makes the cut back. Does he? No, not quite close enough to really get the traction down. But he's definitely keeping up with the pace of Honzig, so there's still a race on our hands, despite the difference.
And so Robin Sutherland is now all the way at the back, so I think something must have happened to him. Seems to be anyone else affected. Although Volby is all the way in 22nd.
Yeah, he got to back the grid on lap 1, so something must have happened to him on the start, or at least on the first lap anyway. So the pack is slowly splitting up. As Robert Summers made his way past Ovanga, the back of the grid. Warby's looking to make a move on the car as Jensen looks to make the move possibly onto Honzig. Gonzalez is somewhat holding the back of these little pack of cars, on the back of the leaders anyway. Meanwhile, big behind the orders, still Kovalainen definitely make a move onto Victor Berlin. Right now, if the positions race ended in these positions right now, that Marcus Lawrence will have the championship, as he not Kovalainen against the only car that can possibly challenge for it, and he has to get 10 points or more. So he's got quite a bit of work to do.
Jensen is getting ever closer
Oh,
to
the car
Honzig
spun
on
in
the
the hairpin.
Oh,
Not the hairpin, the
Hillerman's
chicane.
dropping all the way down.
Yep. Some cars do take a Bit of evasive action there. Warby has to. Nothing happened there. He spun the hairpin. Oh, there's a bit of contact as well into turn 1. Thomas Siak's being spun around there by one of the Corvettes, I believe. Can't really go anywhere though. He's stuck on the inside of turn 1, so he's trying to get his car around without hitting anyone. We'll have a bit of a gap now, but yeah, he got touched from the rear then and spun around, so.
So the battles right now seem to be between Thomas Jensen and Jaroslav Honzik, and between Anton Kivline and Victor Berlin. They are both sticking close together. Because of course Kivline fighting for that championship. Oh, Omen is dropping down the grid. I think, yeah, he ran wide onto the gravel.
Meanwhile,
He's dropped all the way down to P18.
Jaroslav made the move onto Wanzig though into the chicane. Has made the move work. Now he's gonna. So he's made a position up.
And Jensen, ooh, he tried to go down the inside of Honzik, but didn't manage to make it happen. Can he do anything now? No, he can't.
He's desperately trying to though, and he's definitely holding with him, so.
Sticking close behind. Jordan Wanzik tries to make the move back on Dragon's Vibe into turn 1, and he seems to have broke way too soon. Either, yeah. He got very close to Dragon's Vibe there, but Vibe gained a lot of time onto the braking into turn 1.
Mathiesen right on the back of Magnus Jensen.
Oh, and Victor Berlin has spun.
He spun. He has indeed.
So that's allowed Kivline up into P7, right behind his championship rival Marcus Lawrence.
He has to get just in front of Sebastian Bruni, Victor, but again, this track is well known for having spins. You ride too much curb or you take the corner wrong, so yours might be shuffled a bit more. As had 2 cars already spin, both Mercedes AMGs actually spinning at some various points. And just to see how this will pan out.
Jensen still getting ever closer to Honzik. He goes down the inside in the chicane. No, he doesn't. He moves back.
Let's hold off for now.
I think he will try to make the move into turn 1. Maybe try to overtake on the straight. As he is definitely in that slipstream right now. Gonzalez is also quite close behind still.
Bentley does have a lot of low torque runs, especially up to 5th gear. And he goes side by side, but once again backs out. So he's being very cautious about these overtakes, not rushing them, not trying to cause any incidents.
Of course, waiting for a better opportunity.
I mean, what doesn't happen is have a bit of contact now, and that could possibly affect him later on. He just wants to hold him. Remember, it's a 1-hour race, so there's still plenty of time left to make an overtake. You can see how quickly the Bentley does close. He goes round the outside of the Dunlop chicane, but can't really make the move there. It's a bit too tight. I'll have to back off into the Schumacher S. Or does he? No, he doesn't. He keeps going. slots in behind now, which will allow
Oh, that's allowing Gonzalez to get very close indeed. Might he make a move? No, he doesn't. He is very close now, and he might be able to do something into the chicane.
Yeah, but
This is going to get interesting.
Jensen's a lot of speed, as I believe Tom Dennis made a little mistake there, exiting the corner just after the Michelin corner. Let's now head into the chicane. We'll get a bit squirrely there. The back end sets up. Gonzalez looks to make a move possibly, but backs out from it. We're a bit further down the grid. There's a little pack of cars behind Distendo and the SLS. As looks like Armand's trying to make a move onto Hillerman's as they go side by side in the chicane. But Hillerman's must manage to keep him off for now, or does he? No, he doesn't. He stops him behind, so Alma makes a move.
Just noticed this track apparently has 3 different corners named after different tire companies.
Oh, and Warby goes down the inside. Robert Nygaard into turn 1. Nygaard goes very deep though, and that will allow Warby to make the place up. So he now moves his way up into P16. Warby's looking to have a fight back, possibly. I mean, Robert Nygaard, as Desdendo goes very slowly there on the exit of the Mercedes arena, and allows Warby to get past, and so he loses their position. There's a lot of fighting going all over down the track right now, so
yeah, it's still very close between Conor Mathieson and Magnus Jensen. They head through the Schumacher S now, and Jensen goes a bit deep into the chicane there, into the S there, and Mathieson makes a move at the inside. They go side by side, and Jensen runs wide, and that allows Conor to get through.
Conor's down up to P8. This will be interesting because this will actually play in the advantage because it's still a team championship for second place, which Connor's in the team with Thomas Jensen, and so unfortunately has not been very active. So he's been somewhat not helping the team much, but it is possible with him here with position to possibly get second at least, or guarantee second. First is impossible at this point. The Marcus Lawrence team is too far ahead in that regard.
Jordan Wansink is very close to Victor Berlin now on the pit straight.
Let's make a move.
And so he looks up the inside and decides to move back.
I think Victor pulled out a little bit then, so I think that's why he pulled out a bit. We'll make more ground up in the next few corners. Thomas Jansson's round the back of Honzig once more. Let's now head up through the Schumacher S. Warby's now goes back of James by. Bonzig's still in the back of Victor Berlin. Jensen still holding with Conor Mathieson, so still a lot of cars very close to each other. Arman and Hillerman's in the back of Robert Nygaard now.
Thomas has to look up the inside of Honzig, and he moves back again.
He's never.
Seems like he just can never quite get close enough.
He seems
do
to be
it into turn
lacking
one.
on the overspeed. He's not getting enough overspeed to really make the move safely without doing a big old lunge, and that is somewhat costing him. He's pulling out and then has to brake somewhat early to not hit the car in front. What he wants is a bit of clean track.
Berlin goes around the outside of one sink. And they're still side by side. Berlin will have the inside for the next corner and goes past as Brunier, I think, lost a couple of positions there.
And Bibe gets
He ran
passed
right
by
out of turn
Warby.
one.
As Sebastian is still trying to fight back. He's losing a lot of traction there. He's now side by side with Robert Nygaard. So there's a little pack of cars here. There's all together right now in the midfield. So
yeah, that's a big pack of cars indeed.
as they all now start heading down. And this is all the way down in P like 16 and 15 and stuff. As Hillman's sort of poked his nose up the inside of the McLaren. This looks even worse when you look from a high camera point of view, as all these cars are so close together. Surprised not one of them has made a piece of contact yet. So far seems clean as Omen loses it at Dunlop, and we'll have to stop and behind again. Ooh, it's very close then. Himmons hits the back of Sebastian Brunier in the chicane. Doesn't seem like any damage is being done to his car, so we'll be okay. Yeah, I think a bit too late on the brakes. Loses it on the exit of the final chicane. Hairpin. And loses bunch of position, loses position to Naf. So Naf makes a free position out of that. And possibly Thomas Siak, as he's now alongside him. So Hillman's pushing a bit too hard then, it does seem.
As the top runners are running into their first bit of traffic, and seems the traffic got out of the way very nicely onto the gravel. So that wasn't much of an issue in the end.
Yeah, that piece of traffic's way down the order, 70 seconds off the car in front of it, so you're having a lot of issues then. As we are. They head back up the hill, the leaders.
Thomas Jensen will be very close to the back of Hansik again into the chicane, but he's a lot closer now than he was before.
On stage defensive
so they try
line.
to go side by side.
You get yet a better exit, you're still very close. Onzig going defensive once again.
Maybe Jensen will be able to do something on the straight and into turn one this time around.
No, the car slides out a bit.
He runs wide a bit.
Yeah, the car looks got a bit slidey then. We are actually on board with him right now, and not enough.
He should look in his rear view mirror, because there's Gonzalez.
Yeah, you can just see him right there. He is trying to find all the opportunity he can to get past one of these two. So this is the fight for the top three. I think how close they are. I've been racing like this since the start, so very close indeed.
I think we're starting to approach the pit window now as well. Seems Hillemans has retired, unfortunately.
Jensen's got quite a bit of oversteer, but once again backs out, so Jensen is definitely playing a very safe game right now, not risking the car, not risking doing anything silly.
And we have our first pit stop from Jan Willem van Ommen.
A very early pit stop there for the Audi.
Who's having a bit of issues this race, so going for the early pit stop.
Possibly make some moves later on. Maybe it's a bit of clean air, he can get something done.
And he has not changed tires, it seems. So he's getting back out on track.
from voting the onboard, some of it does seem a bit of issue on power when the Bentley looks like it wants to stick the rear end out a bit and it has to counter steer a bit, which has been an issue so far. Definitely does have a bit of a straight line advantage in that slipstream at least, as he does. At some point it looks like he's got DRS activated, how quickly he closes on the back of that Audi. Can you get a good exit now? Look for the inside, but once again keeps it out of danger.
Yeah, he just can't quite get close enough.
That's what Nygaard is around the back of Destendo. Or the other way around at least, because they've switched positions, or did. But very nice that the two Audis I'm up with for the Dungeons are actually keeping a fairly constant distance between the leaders right now. They're keeping about 2 second gap to 3 second gap. Not really losing much, not gaining much, but it shows how much the leaders are fighting and how much they're slowing their pace down. I'm pretty sure in open air, at least the two top runners will be able to somewhat run away from this. But with the constant fighting and going on between these two, it's not happening.
So Hillemans has retired due to brake issues again. So it seems like that's still not been fixed. Maybe we have to have a little talk with his mechanics.
Once again, the leaders closing again at the chicane. Johnson's really struggling trying to find overtaking, and I think someone is getting a bit too close to the back of Honda going to that corner, which means that he can't get quite as clean exit as he wants.
Yeah, it seems like he's just struggling to get the right exit out of the final corner.
And Gonzalez is right on the back again, so the fight between the leaders is still going. Meanwhile, Warby is now under a second gap to Bonzig in front of him. But Nygaard and Kevin now forced very close to the cars around them.
Zik was just flashing his lights a bit.
I think that's something linked to his stream. His talk to stream button is the same as his flashlight button for whatever reason. Don't quite understand that, but Kevin Naff is now making the move on Distendo, further down the field. We give a bit of love to the midfield. As Naff spun it! There he goes, he spun and lost as Dendo goes into the pit lane now, so we have another person heading into the pit lane as the race hits the 31-minute mark. Then it comes to a stop and parks his SLS, turns the lights off, so let's see if he does a full service or not.
There's someone else coming in as well. That's Vanger coming in.
Missing his front bumper, it seems, so he's in an incident at some point with a barrier.
Yeah, that's been a while, and Dendo turns his car back on and heads out again. So no tire change for him.
Yeah, that pays out. Just to see which of the leaders decides to pit first, or will it all go in at a similar time? Will be still in the back as Victor. There's a bit of contact with Victor Berlin and the Corvette of Olsen into the chicane. What's going on there as we are now over the halfway point?
So it's no tire change for Vanger either.
He's replaying his front bumper apparently.
Oh yeah, he's got his front bumper back on.
Does he? Oh, he does. Just because the car all black, it looked from here it's like he didn't have it on. Fitzbellin loses a bit of time and as Jensen just managed to slip past Victor Berlin very smoothly then in the Mercedes arena as Berlin makes a middle mistake and allows that to happen. He will try and fight back, it does seem.
Robin Sutherland is in the pits.
As Thomas Jensen's going into the pit lane now, so he's the first of the three leaders to pit.
Sutherland is changing tires, but of course we'll keep an eye on Thomas Jensen right now.
It'll be worth note, and I'm pretty sure the decision made behind this, if he can get some clean air after the pit stop, he has a chance of possibly getting past Honzig. At the same time, Honzig's probably got a bit of chance now to push, and it will be interesting to see how far he does push in this lap.
That is, if he does get some clean air, because there's quite a few packs spread throughout the track right now. That's Robin Sutherland. That's back out.
As Wolby's managed to make the move onto Berlin, so Berlin's having more issues, does seem.
And Thomas Jensen is changing tires.
So the question, what was Honzi going to do? Question. It is quite interesting to see that the gap between the leaders and the mid-pack is not big enough, because sometimes you see races where the leaders will pit and won't be lapped at all. In this case, Jensen's just going to pull out in P17, possibly, depending where he goes. P17, yes. Just so.
Victor Berlin is also in the pits, and he is also changing tires.
Does seem to be the better strategy maybe at this track, as Jensen's got his lights back on and fires Bentley up and pulls out on track. So you'll pull up P18. There's some decent clean air to go.
Yeah, he's got one bit of traffic coming up ahead, but not too bad.
Honzig is still got Gonzalez is keeping very close, but Gonzalez does have the pace to keep up with the leaders as well. So as Honzig pulls into the pits now, so Gonzalez is the only leader not pulling into the pit lane so far. As Fitzburns is pulling at the pit lane now as well.
Yeah. Keeping a close eye on Honzik. Looks like he's got the first pit box.
Ooh, he restarts the car up. So is he not taking fuel? Or he's...
No, he... Pretty sure he's not started right now.
As Kovaline's entering the pit lane
No,
now.
he does head back out again.
With no tyres.
No tires. Interesting.
As Conor Mathiassen's pulling in, as Kovaline you can just see they're pulling in as well.
Yeah, Conor Mathiassen and yeah, and Kovaline's
So,
right now.
the no tyre strategy is in play now. Let's see how well this works out. The order will be all shuffled up now, so the timing bar is kind of useless now.
Yeah, let's see, which Nissan is that? Jordan Wansink. So Kovalainen and Mathiassen are both changing tires. So is Jorgen Walby and Thomas Olsen. Looks like Jordan Wansink did not change tires, so he's back out on track now.
Interesting,
And he rejoins in P13.
Gonzalez managed to open up a 4-second gap between the cars behind him in open air.
And
So
Wansink lets Jensen through in turn 1.
Honzig pulls up P6 as Mark Whitford's pulling into the pit lane now.
Jorgen Walby will rejoin in 20th.
So, interesting enough, only one of the Audi's pits of Tom Denson stays out on track. He's got a bit of traffic up over Victor Berlin. Let's see what sort of strategy Gonzalez is going to do. Maybe a splash and dash, but how much of a gap he can make up to the cars behind him.
Marcus Lawrence is also in the pits now. And he's blocking my view of Mark Whitford. And Whitford is changing tires. As I can see someone else driving into the pit lane there as well. That's Magnus Jensen. Marcus Lawrence did not change tires, so he's back out again.
So this is very interesting. So one
He
of
joins the track in P4.
I don't know what Kovalainen did. Kovalainen's all the way down in P17 right now.
Kovalainen did change tires. As Magnus Jensen also heads back out there. Without a tire change, I believe. And Mark Whitford rejoins as well in P11. P12, sorry. Jensen just about got past.
The gap between Gonzalez and Tom Denton's opened up to 6 seconds now. So some of that fighting earlier was compromising the leaders, and Gonzalez stayed up for another lap. So Gonzalez is definitely, I think, going for the splash and dash. There's as much time out the fifth fuel tank as possible. The Honzig's in P3. Now, interesting enough, okay, the two cars, Gonzalez and Tom Denton have been known for doing splash and dashes, like in terms of strategy calls. They both have done it before, so, I'm starting to suspect they're both doing the same strategy call.
Yeah.
I don't know how well it will work. I know Dentis probably will lose definitely a position to Honzi, but Gonzalez can possibly get away with it.
As there's another driver into the pits. It's Robert Nygaard, I think. Yes, it is.
Kevin Naff is also in the pit lane.
Yeah. And Kevin heads back out there without a tire change. And so does Robert Nygaard. A lot of people not changing tires right now.
There's so many different strategies going on. I don't really know what to think. I don't know where anyone's going to end up or where they're going to be, when they're going to finish. Well, I know that current Mark Lawrence right now is looking on to win the season.
And Gonzalez is in the pits.
Gonzalez is now in the pit lane.
So I suspect no tire change for him, as Tom Dentist is also in the pits.
Let's see where they end up. Honzig is coming through the final corner now.
So he'll probably get past. Actually, Tom Dentist started back up now. He's getting back out there, and so is Gonzalez.
Gonzalez very
Will
close.
Gonzalez stay ahead of Honzig?
Don't think he will. Honzig has got a lot more speed coming out. Or does he?
He'll have to brake here already, so...
It's
Gonzalez
very
doesn't run
deep,
too
but
wide
Gonzalez
here.
has managed to jump him in the pit stops. He's done it. He did it.
Yes, he has.
You could quite see him on the main camera, so I didn't know if he was out in front or not. But there we go. So Honzig is now in second position, and Gonzalez has managed to get into P1. How long can he hold it, though? That's the real question. Both these people will be on worn tyres.
But there's a few more people into the pits now. Dragos Bibe, Thomas Sayak, and Sebastian Brunier.
Thomas Jensen's lost a lot of
Brunier
position.
seems to have not changed tires, so he's heading back out in P10.
Thomas Jensen's got a lot of positions out. He's in P5, 24 seconds behind Marcus Lawrence. So
Thomas Sayak is also back out, and Dragos Bibe is changing tires.
Marcus Lawrence going P4. Overline's going to make his way back up the order again. He's now in P12. He's out of the range of being able to win this championship.
And Dragos Bibe is back out on track in 20th.
Mathiassen's still trying to fight. We've got Thomas Siak in front of him right now. And Thomas is closing the back on Sebastian Bruno as well.
So Mathiassen is on the inside of Siak. Into turn 1. And it looks like he should be able to stay ahead now. And he will.
Yep, so he moves up into P13. And Columbia makes the move from Sebastian as well. He moves up to...
So Honzik, actually, yeah, Honzik was a tenth faster than Gonzalez on the last lap. Both of them worn tires, of course. Fighting for the lead. While Thomas Jensen is currently 37 seconds down in P5. So I'm not sure he'll be able to make that up. I think he may have made the wrong call with the strategy. But
Yeah,
we'll see. Still 15 minutes to go.
oh, and Connor's stopped on track, or has spun the chicanes. He's lost 2 positions, 3 positions actually. So he must have lost it going through the chicane, taking a bit too much curb then. And it's dropped down to P15.
As Zemmen van Ommen looks to be making the move on Thomas Olsen. They just had a little bit of a scrap in the Mercedes arena. Ommen still closing. Looks like they'll stay in this order for now. Ommen lost a bit of time on the exit there.
I made a statement. Honzik's last lap was quite messy. So I don't know how well those old tyres are working on that Audi.
Yeah, so Gonzalez' last lap was half a second faster than Honzik's.
I mean, the Audi in
Well,
real
maybe
life,
Gonzalez is dealing better with the worn tires.
it's worth noting, I keep mentioning this, it's not really reflected very well, but in real life the Audi is known to be kind of terrible on its rear tyres due to the way the weight is placed on the rear tyres, so compared to the Corvette, which is a lot more conventional front
Yeah,
engine.
maybe struggling to get the power down in the Audi.
Maybe it's the Achilles heel of the car is coming
Thomas
out.
Sayek and Sebastian Brunier side by side coming up to the chicane now. So Brunier on the inside. And Brunier is ahead. Oh, Conor Matthiesen has spun.
Again, spun turn 1 this time. I can't remember if he took new tyres or not, but he's definitely struggling right now as behind him, Distendo is making a move on Kevin Naff. See behind them.
Yeah,
Very close.
I don't think Matthiesen lost any positions there.
No, he lost 1 to Walby.
Right, so just one, lucky for him. Managed to get it back on track just before Kevin Naff and Thijs Dendo arrived.
Bit of traffic up ahead of the leaders. It's the back marker currently. It's another car ahead to retire, I believe. We actually completely missed it, but the lone Porsche has retired.
Yeah. Yeah, he was having some issues in the pit stop, I noticed. Not getting it to work correctly, so... Robbie is closing up on Nygaard. Nygaard defends on the inside. I mean, yeah. So Robbie very close behind now. They're coming up to the chicane very shortly. Robbie goes down the inside. So Robert will be able to... No, he won't. So Volby gets ahead and moves up to P14.
The leads have dealt with a bit of traffic.
So if you look at Thomas Jensen right now, he's still 32 seconds behind. As Volby... he wants to be making a move on Thomas Sayek. So...
We'll be alongside possibly into the next corner, and
up the inside, at the end of the Mercedes arena, and he is ahead.
He's made the move then.
But anyway, Thomas Jensen still 32 seconds behind Gonzalez in the lead, so I don't think he'll be able to close up quick enough.
I mean, he's got 2 cars to get around as well, so I don't think Tom Denter's going to get that position up easily, neither is Marcus Lawrence. And Tom's round the back of Gonzalez once more as they go under the 10-minute mark. So can Gonzalez keep...
Oh, Robert Nygaard spun into the barrier at the exit of the Schumacher S. So he's going to lose a few positions out of that, I think, or just one.
His car looks okay, so he should be keeping to going. No lost bodywork.
Yeah, no mechanical damage either.
Sebastian Brunier's Wolby's got past Sebastian Brunier, but Sebastian's fighting back into chicane, and they have a bit of contact.
Touch. Oh,
and
Wolby definitely got affected there. I think Brunier's going slow to let Wolby through, because yeah, it did look like Brunier touched him there, so I think Brunier was at fault there, and he let Wolby past.
They've lost a few positions out of it though, but
yeah.
Overline is trying his best to get past, but he's going to get past Wanzig, but I think it's too late now in terms of trying to get the championship alive, but he's still going to try to do his best to get as many positions as he can. As he's right now going through the Ford curve, or Ford corner. Either still keeping somewhat similar pace.
Kleinen moves up the inside. One sink, and he does get past into turn 1. Kleinen takes P8. With a championship rival Lawrence up in P4. So Lawrence is set to take this championship.
I think if Lawrence makes a horrible mistake, but I don't think Overline's in a playing position which is high enough to actually move him ahead just yet.
Yeah, let me check. So P8 earns 8 points. So if something awful were to happen to Lawrence right now, he'd get 9 points, which would still not be enough.
Got 5 seconds to close the gap. There's only 5 minutes left to go in the race, so there's not much time to make something happen. As Wolby is made the...
And
Connor had another spin.
yeah, he's really dropping down the grid again. As my timing on him is glitching out a bit, but he is now down in 19th position.
Really not a
They're
best
clearly
day,
not having a good time.
especially with his return
He
back.
is mentally right now.
His return back to the OVRC after taking quite a big break since I think Paul Ricard or something like that. It was the last time he's raced, so not having the best time right now. Nygaard's on the back of Sebastian Brunier right now.
So Honzik does seem to be closing slightly on Gonzalez right now. Not sure if he's closing enough to still challenge him for the lead, although they are sticking pretty close together. Gonzalez just made a mistake into the chicane.
Will he try and fight back? He's going to be very close now, but only 4 minutes to go, so there's a possibility that some more aggressive moves will be made compared to what Jans was doing earlier. Honda takes a very defensive line very early on.
Gonzalez moves up the outside.
Keeps going.
Keeps going, and Honzik is ahead.
Yes.
So that was a very costly mistake.
The question is, can Honzik keep going, and can't? And I won't be surprised if we start seeing some sort of late move by Gonzalez to try and make the position back up again. Honzik's already made somewhat of a getaway already, but both cars are getting very loose now. Looks like it's a bit on the grass then.
Yeah, they seem to be both struggling to find traction.
There's only 2 minutes.
So Olsen moves onto Almen. Turn 1 as they go into the Mercedes Arena now. Like Olsen will stay ahead. Almen just tried to go around the outside, but didn't manage to do it. And now my voice is dying.
Gonzalez has got one more lap after this to go. He's a bit too far away really right now to make anything a move into turn 1, it seems.
Victor Berlin is getting very close to Sebastian Brunier through the Schumacher S.
Olsen's also getting in the back of Roman still, and Hovland's coming in the back of Jensen.
So Victor overtakes Sebastian Brunier on the straight. Maybe Brunier can still come back into the chicane though. No, looks like Brunier will stay behind.
Gonzalez is very close to the back of Honzig right now. Honzig takes another defensive line into the Michelin cut corner. They're going to be very close now, heading in down towards the chicane. It's a possible opportunity for a move coming up. Honzig decides to take, not close enough really for Gonzalez yet. I believe this might be the last lap, so there's not enough time. The clock is going to be ticking down. As Honzig will take possibly at home. Yes, he does. Honzig takes the Nürburgring victory. Followed by Gonzalez.
Tom Dentist is heading around the corner now to take P3, the last podium position.
As Marcus Lawrence and
Marcus Lawrence and Thomas Jensen were still very close together. Looks like Thomas Jensen just about made his way past at the end.
But Marcus Lawrence does secure the championship.
Yes, he does. As
Overline will come home
some
P7.
attempted donuts, I think, from Mark Whitford.
Overline will come at P7 and we'll...
I think Chris Line will stay P2 in the championship.
Oh, one of the Audis in front is missing its front bumper.
Huh.
Oh, yes. Oh, Men's lost his front? Yes, he has.
Yeah, it is someone. Conor Mathieson will take P18. A bit of a disappointing race for him, with a lot of spins in the last half of the race. Fergus Pipe takes P19 and
There's your results.
Stendo takes P20.
The Honzig takes the victory, followed by Gonzalez, and then Dentist rounds off your podium. Thomas Jensen takes P4, Lawrence, Mark Whitford, Atikoverlainen, Magnus Jensen, Honzig, and Olsen round off your top 10. And that has been us for this season of the GT Series. It's been a good season, it's been a fun season, it's been an interesting one. Anything you'd like to say, Owen? At all?
Yeah, it's been indeed a very good season, and I just want to thank everyone for watching us and supporting us. We've had some good viewership numbers on the races this season. As I just dropped something there. We are still professionals.
We are professionals.
So yeah, just thank you all for tuning in every week. And hopefully we can give you some more entertainment next season. Of course, we still have the final TC series race coming up next week.
Yep, and it's still to be confirmed if there'll be broadcasters for the Jardia Winter Cup, which is coming up this week as well. That's open for that as well. Season 5 of What Overdue will be starting next year, in the new year, so I've got a bit of time off to practice for whatever we do. But once again, thank everyone for tuning in and watching and supporting us. It's been a great season again, and it's been a pleasure doing it. So
yeah, I've had a lot of fun.
And thank you for all tuning in. We'll be signing off. We've got one more race to go, and then this season will be over with. Thank you once again. And how many more times can I say thank you in one sentence?
Thank you for everything. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Thank
You
you.
are the best fans.
Hashtag best fans. Right.
Professional.
Professional.